Hey everyone, I'm back. Now I'm really excited for two reasons. Reason number one, I have purchased a new gadget. A selfie stick. Now, why is this a big deal? Because years ago when I saw selfie sticks emerging on the market, I thought the person at the end of the selfie stick was a weird individual. Why would you want to take a picture of yourself? I thought that was very weird. But now I must admit, since purchasing this wonderful device, I am hooked. I am taking selfies, I am taking movies, I am in love with my selfie stick. That's why I'm excited. And the second reason I'm excited, I've got an amazing new workshop for you. So let me just set this up and get right back to you. Welcome back. I'm really excited about today's lesson because I have two poetry forms to share with you today. You're getting two for the price of one, and you don't have to go to the supermarket. So that's good. It's really good. Now, thanks for joining us again on today's lesson. I'm sure you're going to have a great time listening to my wonderful poetry and then creating your own poetry as well. A big shout out to all those who watched the last video, and for those who are busily sending poems to me via their teachers or their parents. Welcome. So today we're looking at two different styles of poetry. The first style is called a Kennings poem. And I'll say no more, but just to share with you an example of a Kennings poem. See what you make of it. Here we go. It's called Forbidden Fruit. My number muncher, my alphabet piano, my finger sofa, my Doctor Who's passport, my Pixel Picasso, my binary jukebox, my alloy Stargate, my 3D theatre, my document hoarder, my inkless press, my Bluetooth sniffer, my edible apple. You're so Moorish I could eat you with one bite. Now, Kennings poems have been around a long time. They were first used in Anglo Saxon poetry and Norse poetry. So that famous poem Beowulf uses some amazing Kennings technique. So you got the idea to describe the human body as a bone house. Bone house. I really like the sound of that. And then we've got the idea of a sword being a battle light. Strike you with my battle light. And the ship being a wave floater. A wave floater. So we're trying to find a way to describe the object without saying what the object actually is. I'll give you an example. My mother used to wear these amazing silk scarves, all colours, all styles, and they were beautiful. I'm going to try my best to describe how they looked to me as they fell around her neck, using two words. Golden lasso. Rainbow snake, crimson chandelier. So the first word, I kind of set it up with like an adjective, a descriptive word, the colour maybe, or the feel, it's furry something, or a blue. And then the second word in the Kennings is the key word. That's the actual noun that you're changing it into, breathing new life into the object. So I don't want to call it a scarf, I call it a lasso, or a parachute, or a chandelier. Now, another example is that we could describe a little child as an ankle biter, because they're small and they're around your knees and around you. Many times whilst working in schools, I hear the term ankle biter used to describe the really young ones in reception. It's a lovely expression, ankle biter. And also, we use Kennings in our everyday language. A bookworm, a bit of a bookworm. It's a Kennings technique. We use it in our everyday language. I think for me, what I absolutely love about Kennings poems is that it gives the poem a natural rhythm without having to rely on rhyme. I mean, you can make them rhyme in couplets, but you don't have to. The rhythm comes from those two words you generate on each line to describe this object. And it's like a riddle. That makes it exciting as well. It's like a riddle. You don't give away what the object is. what the thing is or the person is. You just give clues. Just give clues. And try to tease and really get the reader and the listener thinking, what could this be? And I think that's one of the beauties of Kennings poems. Welcome back. How'd you get on? Once that poem is complete, well, the 6 lines are complete. There's actually one more line to add. This line is the completion line. The completion line. And it starts with, a bit similar to my poem, with "you are." So I want you to think of a line that summarizes how much this thing means to you and completes the poem. Completion is very important. Taking the reader and the listener on a journey. We've created all these wonderful images in their minds, and now we must close the poem. So I want you to think of a line that starts with "you are." So it could be, "You are the ketchup on my chips." Now, why I said that, because I like ketchup on chips. It means a lot to me. It's not chips without ketchup. I want you to think of something in your world that means a lot to you. Like it could be, "You are the laces in my dancing shoes." Because you love dancing and your shoes and the laces mean so much to you when you put them on. It could be, "You are the air in my lungs when I run 100 meters in the playground." So think of your last line, line number 7, that will start with "you are." Now we've got our 6 lines and our completion line, line number 7. That poem is now complete. Hooray! Well done. Put that to one side. Please. I'm saying please. Now, find yourself a lovely piece of paper. It can be lined, but plain is better. And on that paper, we're going to draw the room layout to your house. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean literally sketch the hallway, if you have a hallway, and sketch the front room. I'm just doing it as we speak now. Sketch the front room, and I'll sketch the bathroom, the kitchen over here, the stairway over there, my room, the boys' room. What have I missed? The toilet, my loft, my office. Yeah. And mine looks something like this. Looks a bit crazy, but all it is a hallway over here. You come in there, and there's some rooms. And the boxes are just rooms in the house. Please label all the rooms. So, front room, kitchen, bathroom, stairway, bedroom, my bedroom, the boys' room, crazy room. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to label all those spaces. Do that now. Draw all the rooms in your home and label them. This is our second idea. Is our diagram complete? Well, mine is the same as it was the last time you saw it. So let's start at the beginning. My hallway, our hallway, is full of plants. On the ceiling, on the walls, on the floor, they're everywhere. So if I were to rename that space as to what it really reminds me of, I would go for a rainforest. My wife likes plants. It's a rainforest. I'm going to call that space the rainforest, not the hallway. Think about your hallway. Is it full of shoes? Could it be Clark's shoe shop? Could it be a supermarket? Because there's always bags, things lying around with food and bits and bobs. Is your hallway completely clear like a runway at an airport? Is your hallway like an art gallery with beautiful art on the walls as you walk through? So think about that. As you come through the door, what's your hallway like if you have a hallway in your space? Our front room is immaculate. There's no dust. Dust is not allowed in our front room. Everything is covered with plastic or behind glass. So the front room, in here, to me, is the British Museum. Because it's like a museum because everything is hidden behind glass. So think about your front room. Is your front room a cinema with a massive screen and massive chairs? Or is it a library full of books? Rename your front room. It's not just a front room, it's called something else. Now our kitchen, also immaculate. Kitchen, let's put that as a kitchen. Kitchen is immaculate. Everything is in its place. Knives on the left, forks on the right. Our kitchen is like a doctor's surgery. It's quite sterile. Everything's in its right place. So decide what your kitchen is like. Maybe it's like a fast food restaurant. Or maybe it's like a church or a mosque because it's very peaceful. People gather there and have deep and meaningful conversations. You decide. So stop the tape, have a look around, and describe your rooms in your house. Even the stairs, no longer just the stairs, it could be a rope bridge. Enjoy this journey in your home. We're spending a lot of time in our home over the next few days and weeks. So why not enjoy it? Why not discover new parts of your home? So off you go, have a look around the house and describe all the rooms. And now we're going to create the poem. Now this poem, I want you to look at it like a treasure map. Imagine you're creating a treasure map for a friend to find a particular thing in your home. And you're guiding them from room to room, telling them how to navigate the rooms, what to do inside the rooms to find the actual object. Now, what's really important with this poem is describing the finer details. Now, the finer details start with, how do you enter the room? You could just say, walk into the British Museum, take a left into the aquarium, walk upstairs into the temple, which is your bedroom. But that's kind of boring. So what I'd like you to do is think about interesting ways to describe the way you move around the house. For example, skydive into the British Museum, crawl on your belly into the doctor's surgery. So you could crawl, you can hurdle, you can skip, you can jump. Think of really amazing wow words, adjectives that just jump off the page to describe the way you move around the house. Second thing to think about, give the person who's making the adventurer, let's say, give them tips and things to look out for. Like when you walk through the Kew Gardens, look out for the low flying monkeys on the walls of the rainforest. And when you're in the British Museum, don't drop any dust or biscuit crumbs because Mum will get very, very angry. So tell them things to do. Also things to be aware of. When you're walking through the doctor's surgery, be careful not to trip over the chair. So give them ideas, things to be aware of. Things to be wary of, things to be worried about, like under the stairs, there's a troll. And that troll is your baby's sister. So, before you start the poem, work out these things. How to enter the rooms, how to leave the rooms. Give detail of what to be looking out for. What should you be looking out for in each space? Something to be looking out for. Also give ideas about things to be aware of. Look out for this, look out for that. This is a non-rhyming poem, so have fun with it. Just play around with the idea of making it almost like a story about moving around the home, like a treasure map. Now the story ends wherever your object lives. The object being the thing you wrote about in the Kennings poem. Wherever that lives in your house, that's where the story ends. So this is how the poem would go. It would take the adventurer around the house, visiting 4, maybe 5 different rooms. And then it would end up in the room where your object lived. And if that was the bedroom, if your favourite piece of jewellery lives in your mum's bedroom, then you've got to end up in the bedroom and say, there, on this shelf, you will find my... And that's where the Kenning poem fits into the poem. You add the Kenning poem we did earlier to the treasure map poem. And it's complete. 2 poems become 1. Have a go. So the map of our house is complete.